Hello children. In this video class, this is biology revision class. We are going to revise the PA2 portions. Hope you all know the PA2 portions. Chapter 2, nutrition in animals, and chapter 7, weather, climate and adaptations of animals to climate. So these two chapters are for the PA2. And regarding the questions, 1 mark, then the questions from worksheet, book exercise and classwork will be asked. And from these two chapters, if you see about the diagram based questions, human digestive system in chapter 2 is the possible diagrammatic question. Human digestive system. Human digestive system is the possible diagram. And let us revise one by one. And naturally, what is nutrition? What is nutrition? The mode of taking food. The mode of taking food by an organism and utilizing the nutrients is called nutrition. Is it not? And this nutrition includes nutrient requirement, that means what and all nutrients required for our body, mode of intake of food and utilization in the body. And the food what we eat is the complex food, and directly the nutrients cannot be absorbed by our body. So the food what we eat is the complex food, and that complex food should be broken down into simple food. And this process of breaking down of complex food into simple food is called digestion. And this digestion involves various steps. And in this chapter, we are going to see about the digestion in human beings and in herbivores and in unicellular organism. For example, in human beings, the human digestive consists of 6 compartments. That is the buccal cavity or the mouth. Next, in esophagus, it enters into the stomach. After that, the small intestine, then large intestine, then ends in anus. So the digestion starts from the mouth to anus. In this, various steps involves. That is, in the buccal cavity, what and all are present? The salivary glands, teeth, various types of teeth. 4 types of teeth are there: canines, incisors, premolars and molars. Then tongue. And the salivary gland secretes the saliva, which converts the starch, the carbohydrates into glucose. That is the first step in digestion. Then that half digested food is sent through the esophagus. In that, one movement called peristaltic movement takes place. Step by step the food enters into the food pipe and reaches the stomach. And stomach is a muscular gland, and it has 3 secretions. What are they? Hydrochloric acid, mucus and digestive juices. That hydrochloric acid makes the medium acidic and kills the harmful bacteria present in the food. And the mucus protects the inner lining of the stomach. Digestive juices helps in the digestion of proteins into simple sugars. In the mouth, carbohydrates, that is in buccal cavity, carbohydrates is converted into simple sugars, and in the stomach, what is that? Proteins is converted into simple sugars. Then it enters into the small intestine. And that small intestine, it is associated with liver, the largest gland. Liver is the largest gland and it secretes bile juice. So in the buccal cavity, first, what is secreted? Saliva. And that saliva converts what? Carbohydrates into simple sugars. Carbohydrates into simple sugars. And after that, it in the stomach. First one, buccal cavity. Second one, in the stomach. What and all are secreted? Hydrochloric acid, then mucus, next digestive juices. Digestive juices are secreted. And here in the stomach, what is converted? Proteins into simple sugars. Proteins are converted into simple sugars. Next, the food will enters into the small intestine, and that small intestine is associated with liver and pancreas. And in the liver, bile juice is secreted, and it is the largest gland in the body, and this bile juice helps in the conversion of fat into fatty acids. Fat into fatty acids. Then the pancreas also secretes pancreatic juice. And all these secretions are discharged. Discharge means they are mixed up, enter into the small intestine, and there the digestion of all those things, proteins, fats and remaining carbohydrates, everything gets digested. And in the small intestine, intestinal juice will be secreted. Intestinal juice will be secreted. So along with this associated glands, what are they? Liver and pancreas. They secrete the bile juice, and the bile juice is stored in the gallbladder and helps in the digestion of fat materials. So all these are discharged into the small intestine, and that small intestine secretes the intestinal juice. The pancreas secretes the pancreatic juice. All those helps in the digestion of the remaining part of the nutrient content, that is the remaining part, proteins and carbohydrates and fats, everything will be broken down into simple sugars. And all these digested food that is absorbed in the small intestine, that is absorbed in the small intestine with the help of villi, plural villi, singular villas. The finger-like projection that is present in the wall of the intestine is called villus. And this absorbs the nutrient, increases the absorbing surface and absorbs all the nutrients required for the body. In the small intestine, this villus helps in the absorption of the nutrients. And it will be used up, carried along with the bloodstream, and it will be sent to all the parts for again forming the complex food like carbohydrate, proteins and all. It cannot be directly absorbed by the body, so that it is converted into simple foods. Then again it is reformed again as the complex food for the utilization of the body. And it will be carried along with the bloodstream, and wherever the nutrients are required, it will be absorbed from the blood by the body parts, and it will be used by them. This process of absorbing and utilizing the nutrients from the digested food is called utilization. Okay, next, remaining food, the waste, unabsorbed water and minerals and all will be absorbed from the large intestine. From the small intestine, the food will move into large intestine. and there the remaining water, minerals, salts, unabsorbed salts, water and all will be absorbed in the large intestine, and the remaining waste will be sent to rectum. In that part, rectum, the waste will be stored for a particular hours, and then it will be removed from the body through the anus. So the digestion starts from the buccal cavity to the anus. All the parts involved in digestion along with the associated glands, that the liver and pancreas, forms the digestive system or alimentary canal. Digestive system is otherwise called as alimentary canal. Digestive system or alimentary canal. Okay, this is about the digestive system of the human body. Now, let us see about the diagram of the human digestive system. So, the human digestive system starts with buccal cavity. So it starts here with the buccal cavity, enters into the esophagus. From esophagus, it enters into the J-shaped stomach, and this stomach joins with the small intestine. It is a long coiled tube, 7.5 meters in length, and it ends in water. And this small intestine joins with the large intestine. This is a small long coiled tube, and it joins with the large intestine. So like this, the large intestine is 1.5 meter in length. And here it ends with the anus, rectum and anus. And here another associated glands, large gland called liver is present, and in this the gallbladder is present. This is the gallbladder. Along with this, the pancreas, the leaf-like structure in between, it is present, and you have to mark the parts. This is buccal cavity. So you have to draw the diagram and you have to mark the parts in one side neatly. Buccal cavity, esophagus, then stomach, pancreas, liver, large intestine, small intestine, then rectum, anus. So like this you have to mark the parts in one side neatly. No need to draw the outer body parts and all. Just from here. That's all. No need to draw the space also. Just it starts with buccal cavity and ends in the anus, and the remaining parts you have to write. Understand? This is the human digestive system diagram, possible diagram in these two lessons. Okay, and next in case of herbivores, what is that? The herbivores, for example, ruminants, they are called ruminants, those who are eating the grass, the animals which feed on grass, which contains the cellulose. The carbohydrate what we eat is starch. That carbohydrate is starch that we can digest. But the carbohydrate present in green plants, that is in grass and all, it is cellulose. And that cellulose cannot be digested by our human digestive system, because one certain type of bacteria is present in that herbivores, which helps them to digest that cellulose, which is absent in human digestive system. That is why we cannot eat that grass, but they are able to eat. That too in case of cow, they are called ruminants. That means hurriedly they will eat the grass, then they will store in a chamber called rumen. There are 4 chambers in herbivores. In that, the first one is rumen. They will store the partially chewed food, that is called cud. They will chew the grass, partially it will get digested and it will swallow that. That swallowed partially digested food is called as cud. And the organisms or the animals which chew the cud are called ruminants. Ruminants. And this cud is stored in a chamber called rumen. After some time, that cud will be brought back to the mouth of that cow or the ruminants, and they will chew it again to digest fully, and it will swallow. And they have another chamber called cecum, C-A-E-C-U-M, cecum, where that cellulose and all get digested. Cellulose is nothing but the carbohydrate present in the grass. That gets digested in the chamber called cecum. Okay, and this is all about that ruminants. That means the animals which chew the food and partially digested, and it will be stored in a chamber called a rumen, and it will be fully digested in a chamber called a cecum. That animals which chew the cud partially are called ruminants. Okay, partially digested food is called cud. And again in case of amoeba, unicellular organism, that and all how they will take that food. No separate systems like digestive system or circulatory system and all. Only one cell. They are made up of only one cell. In that how they are able to do all the functions. That means they produce the false feet. That amoeba, they have irregular shape. They don't have a particular shape. And when they sense a food present around there, they will produce a small false foot. They will extend their body part like this. They will engulf. Engulf means they will brought back their false foot. Temporarily they will produce a foot-like thing. They will cover the foot particle and they will take inside into its body part. See how it is covered. And inside that the cytoplasm and vacuoles will be there. They will be the food particle will be taken into this vacuole. They will get digested, and in the same way it will be sent out. So all like multicellular organisms, in unicellular organisms like amoeba also, the process of digestion, respiration, everything will goes on. Okay, so this is about that nutrition in animals. In the different types of animals, test for starch, everything we discussed during the classes, is it not? Next one. Next chapter. Adaptations, climate, weather and adaptations of animals to climate. What is weather? Weather is nothing but the day-to-day changes that changes frequently for a short duration. That is called as weather. And this weather are reported by meteorological department. You have to concentrate on the spelling. Meteorology. Study of weather is called meteorology. And the persons or the scientists or who study about the weather are called meteorologists. Meteorology and meteorologist. Those who study about the weather are called meteorologists. T-E-O-R-O. Here only you will make mistakes, so be thorough with the spellings. Next one. So the day-to-day changes which often, frequently they will change for a short duration, that is called weather. And this weather, the day-to-day condition of the atmosphere based on 4 factors. What are they? Temperature, humidity, wind, and 4th one, rainfall. So the weather depends upon all these. Moisture, humidity, moisture, and on the rainfall, wind speed. So they depend on these factors. The weather depends on these factors. The weather changes frequently within the short period. And next one, the maximum and the temperature is measured with the help of the maximum and minimum temperatures. Then to measure that rainfall, a separate instrument called rain gauge. Rain gauge is used to measure the rainfall of a particular place. And the humidity, that means the moisture content of the air, it will be measured with the help of barometer. Okay, that and all is not given in your textbook, anyhow, just you know. So all these are taken by the meteorological department and it will be announced to the public. Next, climate. Climate is a long duration, average weather conditions taken for a long period. Even for 10 years or 15, 20 years, they will calculate the average weather of a particular place and they will announce the climate of that particular place. If it receives more rainfall, it will be considered as a rainfall receiving region with high rainfall. If the climate is so dry and hot, they will call it as dry and hot condition, hot region. Meaning average rainfall is also there, means wet and hot. Like that they will classify the climate of a place. And regarding that climate taken over for a long period, they have given a tabular column in your book and they have considered that Kerala, Jammu and Kashmir, they have moderately hot and wet climate. Jammu and Kashmir. What type of climate they have? Jammu and Kashmir, they have moderately hot and wet climate because of the snowfall and all. Then what about Kerala? They also have hot climate, very hot and wet. This is moderately hot and wet, then Kerala, very hot and wet, first one, then second one. Next, third one, desert region. What about that? Desert region, Rajasthan, how it will be? It will be hot and dry, their climate. because all the time the bright sunlight will be there, rainfall will also be very low. So this climate is considered as hot and dry. Then in the northeastern India, they will receive more rainfall. So that region is considered as wet climate. Northeastern India, the Assam and all are there, no? Northeastern India, it is considered as having the wet climate. The climate seen there is very wet. So depending upon the climate, average weather pattern, they have considered the climate of different regions. That is Jammu and Kashmir moderately hot and wet, Kerala very hot and wet, Rajasthan hot and dry, and northeastern India wet climate. So like this they have calculated the different climate of India. Next one, depending upon the climate, the animals have adapted themselves. Animals have adapted themselves to live in such places. For example, in the polar regions, you could see the animals with thick fur because they have to bear the very cold climate. They will have fat layer under their skin. To walk on the snow, they will have webbed padded feet. They should not get feel slippery. They should walk griply on the snow. So they will have padded feet. Penguins will have webbed feet. They have to swim also under the water to catch their prey. To escape from their enemies, their body color will match with their surroundings. So like this they will have different adaptations. Then to escape from the cold winter, they will go for long winter sleep. That is a hibernation. Hibernation means what? Long winter sleep. Long winter sleep. Then in birds and all, they will migrate. Migrate means moving from one place to another to escape from the extreme climate. Not only in birds, some animals also I explained, salmon, fish or butterflies. In insects also it is seen. It will move from one place to another place to escape from the climate and also to breed. Okay, so like this they adapt themselves. They will have strong sense of smell to catch their prey. And penguins will have that streamlined body to swim underwater. And to escape from the cold, the penguins will huddle each other. So everything we discussed. And in case of tropical rainforest, the tropical rainforest receives more rainfall. And also it will be a hot region, so the climate will be always hot and wet. Because of this, naturally the forest will be so dense and thick, and the animals will get the food easily on the trees itself. No need for them to come down to get their food. So always they will be seen living on the trees itself. They will have that camouflage characteristics, changing the body color according to their environment or the surroundings. For example, a red-eyed frog, then leaf insects, then orangutan. Is it not? Everything I showed you in that while taking class. That is white-beard monkey, then birds, toucan birds having large beak. Next, elephants. Regarding that elephants, their appearance. In the worksheet also we have asked, what is the use of its trunk? For that, long trunk. Used as a nose, and also it is used to carry the loads, carry log of woods, to break the bark of the trees for their food. They have to eat leaves. For that they will break the bark of the trees. Next, what are tusks? What is its use? Tusks are nothing but the modified incisors, modified teeth, and it helped them to carry the logs of wood. Is it not? Next, why do these animals have large ears? These elephants, they have to keep their body cool, and also they have sharp scents. Okay, so for these purposes they have that long trunk, tusk and ears and all. Next, their adaptive features, some of the characteristics of animals, that is diet heavy on food. Already in the classwork it is given, chapter 7, 6th question. Some of the characteristics of the animals are given. And to which region that characteristics will suit. For example, diet heavy on fruits, tropical rainforest, there only the animals can get their food on the trees itself. Then loud voice, tropical rainforest, sticky pads on feet, for example red-eyed frog I told. Next, bright colors, camouflage and all to match the surroundings. Then strong tails, for example in that white-beard monkeys and all, they have their tails, strong tails to hang down from the trees for their balance, to move from one branch to another. They will use their strong tails. Next one, long and large beak in birds of toucan to catch their prey from the trees. From the small branch also they could take their prey, fruits. Okay, next in polar regions, what are the characteristic features? White fur, they need to migrate, then layer of fat under the skin, wide and large paws to walk on the snow and all. So these are the characteristics of different regions. So you have to remember the characteristic features followed in different regions. So like this the questions will be asked from the classwork and also the worksheets. Next, the patterns already were sent to you. Then the largest gland in the human body is liver. It secretes the bile juice. It is stored in the gallbladder and it helps in the digestion of fats. So like that 1 mark you should understand, read the lesson line by line, understand, and you should be able to answer. Next, the study of weather is meteorology, and the person who studies the weather pattern are called meteorologist. Next, picture based question will be there. Then short answers. Why do we get instant energy from glucose? Already it is given in the book. Because the glucose is a simple sugar and it could be digested easily and absorbed by the blood. Doesn't need any digestion. It is directly absorbed in the blood. So easily breaks down in the cell with the help of oxygen and provides instant energy to the organisms. Okay, so like this you have to answer the questions by thinking and reading the lessons. You have to revise both the worksheets what we have sent. From that also there is a chance for asking the questions. So revise the worksheets also, the hearts given in that. See, digestion needs the help of 2 or more systems in the body to provide energy from food. Name these systems. What are the 2 other systems? Liver and pancreas. How do they help for providing energy from food? From liver, bile juice is secreted that helps in the digestion of fats. Then pancreas, they secrete the pancreatic juice and helps in the digestion of proteins and fats. So in this way they help, they secrete the digestive juices or enzymes and help in the digestion of nutrients. Like that you have to answer. Already the answer key also sent to you. Okay, so children, revise both the worksheets we sent to you and the classwork and book exercise. Read thoroughly and you prepare well for the exam coming PA2. Thank you, children.